The faint echo of footsteps bounces around the arches and alcoves. With it comes the palpable dread of Ignaz's frantic breath as he runs out of places to hide.
Who are you? Guards! Guards!
The chiseled granite beneath their feet is slippery from the incessant rain. All these stone-carved temples and statues designed to preserve the status of the wealthy, even in death.
The echo of nothingness is suffocating here. I need to leave.
Guards! Guards!
You can shout, Ignaz, but nobody's coming.
You are mistaken. I'm Herr Stritzweis. Who's Ignaz?
Ignaz is the scared little man standing in front of us, realizing that he is all alone now that Randane have no use for him anymore.
You're the ones who stole the plans. Who are you?
They've lost interest in you now that your cover is blown and you can't do them little favors anymore.
Please. Please, you have to help me. I need to leave Vienna. My daughter too. Eva. It's not safe. This morning they phoned me to say they'll kill us both if I didn't tell them who has the plans. They think I sold them.
Well then, Ignaz, it seems we need each other. So enlighten us. Why are you helping Randane? How much did they pay you?
Pay me? You think I did this for the money? I'm a federal minister, you fool. Randane has been blackmailing me for over a year. Look at these photos.
Ignaz produces a clump of tattered monochrome photographs and hands them to Siska. Examine the photographs.
Who's the other man in the pictures? You two...
What does it look like to you? Are you shocked?
Did you know you were being photographed?
Of course not. We were always careful to go into the countryside, where nobody could see us. Walks, picnics, normal stuff. But we were...
Then, when they had enough material, they started asking you for favors. How am I doing?
They started sending me the pictures. I got scared. When Rudi found out, it was the end anyway. But the photos kept coming. Small stuff at first. A word in a judge's ear prior to a trial, firing some city guards who had crossed them. But then it got bigger. Monopoly contracts for the city copper mine. Exclusive access to the reservoir. They never told me what would happen if I refused to do it. But I knew the photos would go public. My wife would see them, my daughter. Not that it matters so much now. Nina left me a month ago anyway. Every few months I'd also get a beating from some thug scrambler working for them called Zappelli.
Yeah, Zappelli isn't the subtlest scrambler around, but I guess that's why they hired him.
You're sympathizing with this parasite wilt? That's a nice little sob story for someone who got caught selling out his city.
You want to see my body? Here.
Ignaz unbuttons his shirt to reveal a mottled mess of bruised flesh and tender purple tissue where his ribs should be.
Zappelli never said a word to me, but I got the message. They could get me whenever they wanted. Now I have the bodyguards, but it won't make a difference if even you two can get past them.
What are they doing at the distillery?
I don't know. They had me switch the plans in the planning office so they could hide a section of the distillery from the council. But I never asked questions. The less I knew, the safer I was. Please, please help me and my daughter leave Vienna. If you do this, I'll tell you where they are based. They have a factory out of town where they build things. I don't know what. They took me there once, but I won't tell you till I'm sure they can't get to me.
We could help put him on a train.
I'm not sure I trust him yet, Wilt.
We'll need new papers. They've put word out to have me apprehended. I'm not the only official they've corrupted. No border guard will ever let me pass with my real ID.
Okay, we'll need a few hours to prepare. If we hurry, we can get you on the midnight sleeper to Trieste.
Thank you. I will send for Eva.
If he's telling the truth and we get caught, they'll do to us whatever they do to him.
What they'd do to him wouldn't be fun. Sure you still want to play the vigilante?
You think I'm scared, Wilt? I was born in Kalush on the Eastern Front in 1915, when you and Arno were playing games in Passau.
When I was only a few months old, both my parents were killed in a Zeppelin raid, which destroyed most of our village.
As a child, I learned to walk in corpse-strewn streets while howitzer shells whistled overhead. There's little in Vienna right now that would shock or scare me.
You're pretty intense for a teenager.
I'm 20 years old. Not that it matters.
The city's central districts are adorned with the centuries-old regalia of power. Siska's eye traces the festooned and crested townhouse facades worn with time. She regards the Imperial Embassy's crumbling cornices and ledges like a palm reader divining the city's future from its cracks and fissures.
What's your name, little girl?
Daddy said we are going on holiday to the beach.
Her name is Eva.
Ava, will you stay close to me? I'm going to help you and your daddy go on holiday, but you have to promise to be good. Is that okay?
I think I lost my toy.
Wilt, I'll keep an eye on her. The overnight sleeper to Trias leaves in 2 hours. Let's get going.
What about the identity papers? They'll check us on the train before we cross the border.
We'll get some papers from Gorentz. He runs a small printing press in the shopping arcade, but his main work is doctoring checks and ID cards.
Can we trust him?
As much as you'd trust a hungry vulture, but we don't have much choice.
Once a playground for the Imperial elite, the opulent shopping arcade now serves as a rough, improvised marketplace for those who can seldom aspire beyond a half-full stomach. Local traders barter household essentials and basic foodstuffs. A shaving mirror gets you 5 onions. A sack of potatoes could command as much as a blanket or warm coat. The soot-caked print shop window obscures the press rhythmically at work inside, where the patron secures a jeweler's loop over his left eye.
ourselves a future. Welcome to the Bildenstraße Press. What a lovely couple you two make. Experience meets youth. How charming. I bet you're here for
No time to waste, Gorenz. Drop the act. You know why we're here. 2 sets of ID papers, within an hour.
Oh, my friend Wild, I didn't recognize you for a moment. I'd love to help. I won't even take a single shilling from you.
You're in a generous mood today.
Well, maybe you could grant me just a small favor. I have a small problem with another client. Your skills may be of use. It's a delicate matter relating to Herr Grunwald. You may know him.
Never met him.
Wild, you really are an uncultured heathen. Herr Grunwald is the director of the Academy of Fine Arts, the majestic building opposite the marketplace.
Pardon?
I suppose you're not really a connoisseur of architecture. Take a look around sometime. Our city is magnificent. As well as running the art academy across the square, my neighbor, Herr Grunwald, makes a tidy sum by managing the art collections of Vienna's. These people spend a fortune trading unique treasures and rely on Grunwald's expertise for guidance.
It's not yet clear to me where you or I fit into this.
Well, the problem for Grunwald's clients is that he is not as trustworthy as he seems. He's fond of passing on forgeries as high-value pieces to his clients, supported by fake authenticity documents.
Which you produced for him.
Correct. And then guess what happened?
The cheating fraudster Grunwald decided not to pay the poor forger Gorenz? And now I need to settle this liar's dispute.
You guessed it. I want you to retrieve my forged certificates. I'll then tell Grunwald the price has now doubled.
You're not slow to exploit an opportunity to make money, are you, Gorenz?
A man is a reflection of his times. Is it not so, Wild? Anyway, bring me these items and you'll have your IDs.
Siska, Ignaz, stay here with Eva. I'll go and collect the certificates. If I'm not back in an hour, then you're on your own.
Gargoyles above the entrance hearken to the city's medieval past, their expressions quickening from the shadows of the flickering lamplight. Wilt rifles through the mess of letters and papers. In the lower drawer of the desk, he uncovers a bundle of thick cards adorned with wax seals and gold leaf bound in a silk ribbon. Wilt quickly scans one of the certificates before stuffing the sheaf into his pocket.
Here's your payment, Gorentz.
Wilt hands over the certificates. Gorentz tucks them into his pocket in exchange for the forged identity cards, each decorated with a flawless replica of the official imperial seal required for border crossings.
How do you know Grunwald won't simply go to another forger?
There is nobody else within 200 kilometers of Vienna who can do what I do. Grunwald is a greedy man. He'll never hold a grudge if it costs him money.
You're gambling on his greed outweighing his pride.
Greed outweighs everything, Wills.
Thanks for the psychology lesson. We need to get going. Ignace and Eva will need 2 tickets for their journey. Siska, can I leave this to you and your nimble fingers?
No problem, I'll go ahead and find some tickets. There must be some unguarded pockets in the train station. Meet me on the departure platform afterwards.
What is it?
The soot-caked print shop window obscures the press rhythmically at work inside, where the patron secures a jeweler's loupe over his left eye.
They'll never win. What is it?
Farewell, Ignace. Good luck in Trieste.
Thank you.
You weren't the worst human being I've ever come across. You probably don't deserve what Randain did to you, or have planned.
I promised that if you helped me, I'd tell you what I knew. If you want to learn more, go and visit the old Zeppelin factories south of the river. They were recently sold for a pittance to an investor representing Randain in a deal I was forced to approve. You can get there easily. Most of the underground trains stop in that area.
Thanks, Ignaz. Maybe steer clear of politics in the future? Doesn't seem to have done much for your soul here in Vienna.
I just want to forget it all. 3 years of misery, always afraid. At least I still have Eva. In Trieste we can start again. That's all.
You and every other bag of bones on this planet wants another go around. And even if you had it, even if you had another 50 rolls of the dice, you'd still end up the shivering shell of a man that stands before us now.
You are not exactly sentimental, are you?
I don't expect much from people, and they still find ways to disappoint.
I pity you, Wilt.
Ignaz and Eva are already seated as the carriage slips out of the terminal. Siska's voice is buried by the noise of the locomotive.
We can take the underground train to the industrial zone near the Zeppelin factories. We'll be there in an hour.
Sounds like you'll have a lot of fun.
You're not coming?
This isn't a hobby for me, Siska. If you want to hire me, then pay me. Or else, good luck to you. Try Arno if you want to volunteer. He's always desperate for a chance to clear his conscience. Problem is, whatever he does, it's never enough. I didn't much enjoy the last war I fought in, and I'm not eager to sign up for another.
Siska watches intently as Wilt maneuvers through the crowd. She fidgets with the button of her worn jacket, waiting for him to change his mind, to turn around and re-emerge from the anonymous masses. Siska learned a long time ago that waiting for heroes would never change anything, and she was cross with herself for having once more entertained such folly. Heroes were for children's stories. In life, she'd met only those who cared more and those who cared less. The locomotive's steam whistle is deafening. Siska buttons her coat and slips off towards the freight terminal.